Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today we have a very special person with us, right? Miss Harshita Kanjani. She has completed her MBA from IIMV Visakhapatnam, currently working as a product marketing manager at Airtel. She is also a digital creator with more than 40k followers across the channels, right? So there is still a lot to talk about when we talk about her experience, but I'll just keep it short. Right. You all can also connect to her on LinkedIn. So I'll just share the link and you can also just search the name that I mentioned above her video. So that will be convenient. Right. So we won't waste much of the time now. Ma'am, the mic is all open. Anything that you would like to say in your introduction, then we can just begin with the podcast.
Growth, consistency, idea, reality. It all begins at one point. Here. Want to know how the industry works or how to build yourself? Learn from experienced people from the industry. Subscribe to know more.
Sure. Firstly, thank you so much for such kind words. And I'm really glad that I came to this podcast. And in any way, if I could help someone out, I would be really glad to do that with my experience and my overall the work that I've done. So in my introduction, I would like to just add up to what you said is that I have been a very curious child from a very beginning. I have been into a lot of things, it's like being a jack of all trades, learning a lot of things at once, and also, never stopping and having that passion still within me. So I think that is something that I have been living with throughout my life. Have done a lot of internships, life projects to learn a lot and to experience a lot of things, especially related to marketing, and finally landed to where I am. And yeah, be glad to answer questions.
Definitely. And the mindset that you talked about just now, that's the sole reason of the success that you have achieved till this point in your life, right? Yeah. And that's a very beautiful thing that you follow, right? Okay, so before beginning with the podcast, we would just like to understand that how has your journey been till this point, right? Starting from your college life till whatever company you're working with right now.
Sure. So starting from my college life, during my undergraduation, I became very passionate about learning about marketing and different aspects of marketing because marketing is a very, big term when you talk about it. People don't know what actually happens inside it. There are different kind of marketing available and you can choose a field according to your expertise and what you're good at. It's not just an aid to selling. It's actually a lot more than that. It starts from need generation and it goes on till after the sale has been done. So there are a lot of aspects of marketing that people can play around with, learn about, and that is what I was interested in. So during my undergrad, I started doing a lot of live projects, talking to a lot of people who have established careers in marketing. I used LinkedIn. Intern Shala at that time was very good. Indeed was very, very good to find good internships and live projects. I started doing marketing stints in different industries. I worked in automobile, I worked in FMCG, I worked in publishing, advertising, core marketing, and I also did a lot of sales to know the gist of marketing because honestly, marketing without sales is waste efforts. That is what I have come to realization. Okay. So if you want to be a good marketer, sales is something that you should have experienced once in your life. So yeah, I did that in my undergrad. After that, I also worked in a very, agency, advertising, creative, environment kind of a setup where I handled a lot of good clients, again, varying from different industries, talk to a lot of brand managers and sales people on a day-to-day basis about what is, what sells, how it sells, how they sell it, what is the insight that they use in creating a campaign. That's the most important thing. And after that, I think I felt the need of, marketing in itself. What I was doing was not enough to build like a holistic career. And that is why I went, not the whole reason, but yes, a smaller part of the reason wherein because of which I went for an MBA to IIM Visakhapatnam. And in that also, I learned from the best faculty there is. We were taught by IIM Bangalore teachers. We were taught by industry professionals that have worked in the industry for more than 30, 40 years. So the insights that I got, the knowledge that I got was incredible. And post that, I have now landed up to this job where I'm working as a product marketer. And that's very different from what I've done. I've done growth marketing in the past. I've done performance marketing. I've done creative marketing, and now product marketing.
Understood.
So yeah.
Yeah, so there is a lot of misconception when we talk about the term marketing. Matlab, some people misunderstand it to be equivalent to advertisement or brand creation, right? So how can we actually define marketing? What is the right definition of marketing? Because the perspective changes person to person. मतलब मैं अगर किसी 3 लोगों से पूछूंगा कि what is marketing, तो they'll give me different definitions, right? So according to you, what is marketing?
So again, I think marketing is a word jiska there cannot be one definition because it is in itself like a world. Okay, but if I could say, I think it's not just creative. It is related to numbers also. It is related to selling also. It is related to, like I told you before, it starts from the generation of a need. The people are out there, our consumers. We don't know sometimes what we need. That is called innovation. So there is innovative marketing. Then sometimes people know that there's a need, but it's a latent need. It's not on the surface. That's about, realizing people and targeting, triggering points that they, that they should buy something or they should go for something.
Right.
That's a latent need, a realization of a latent need. Then there are needs that are already there, but you want to for example, if I tell you, Pepsi and Coke, or not just that, maybe like a commodity kind of a business. For commodity kind of businesses, there's a necessity, there's a need. For example, salt. Okay, Tata also sells salt. Some other local player also sells salt. But the salt that Tata sells has a brand value. It sells more. They price it. The 100 gram is priced at some $200, and that 100 gram you can get at 20 rupees or 30 rupees. So where is the difference coming from? It's coming from marketing. That's whole marketing. That is the brand aspect of marketing. Okay, so that is how you differentiate different aspects of marketing from performance. Performance, as in when you talk about, Google ad, if you say, how does your page rank first on Google search? When you search for something, how does it come first? You have to be good at SEO. You have to be good at your website. Your website should be healthy. It should have a good quality score. All these nitty-gritties come under marketing. That's the part of digital marketing. So there are different aspects and different, sub-aspects of marketing that inculcate the whole term that is marketing.
So that is more of the strategies that we apply to create the value in the market.
Yeah.
Right. That's how we could just, just sum it up. Sum the whole.
Yeah, but like I told you, it's not just about market. It's about, it's a lot more than that, It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's everything. Like a brand is not just a brand because of its value in the market. It's also about the quality of the product. It's also about, communicating the right value that the right target audience would be, triggered to. So, yeah, everything.
Right. Understood. So that's a fair enough overview about the whole division of marketing, right? And
yeah.
I hope
I was able to answer that. However, it's a very, complex question, but yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I believe the students got an overview about how differentiated the whole industry in terms of marketing is, right? Because there are n number of divisions in marketing, and every single division plays a very critical role in terms of growing the value for the consumers, right? Or just providing the perceived benefits to the consumer, right?
Yeah.
So you already have, your career has spanned through various industries and various roles already, right? And you have a lot of experience that you have collected, right? So starting from marketing communications to actually product marketing, right? So what key experiences have shaped your perspective on the landscape of marketing, right? While working through these companies and at different distinguished roles, right? So you have collected a lot of experience. So how has it shaped your vision about the industry in that sense?
Okay. So, I think starting from the scratch, I started working as a copywriter. Okay, I learned graphic designing. So I was more into the creative aspects of marketing. But I believe that is a skill that you should have, be it in any role that you're currently in. Okay, content, being able to crisp a message and put it in a right word and convey it in the right way is the most important skill that you should have. Doesn't matter if you're working, if you're writing content, or if you whatever you're doing, if you're even behind the scenes working on SEO, working on media advancements, activation, digital amplifications, or whatever you're working on. But content, being good at content is something that I learned is very important. Okay, and apart from that, I think having like a creative mind is also one thing that makes you a good marketeer. Okay, and that is what I've learned also, that having a creative instinct and having that feeling or that intuition that okay, this is something that would work, not because the numbers say so, not because the creative is good, not because the market is like this or something, some external reason, because your internal mind says, your internal heart intuition says that this would work, and you take a step ahead for that. That is comes with learning and with working in the industry very closely to different functions, understanding different functions properly, and starting from the scratch and working on the grounds is something that teaches you that. And now even if you talk about sales and marketing, like people ask me a lot of times that should we start with sales or should we just go for marketing. I always push them to start with sales and then proceed to marketing, because sales actually give you the insight into what is happening on the ground. What is the insight? So insight is a word that is the most important word in terms of marketing. And you get the insight of what people are really feeling, what is the pain point, what is that they want, and then you can act, then you can make your own campaign around it, then you can make your strategy, your GTM, your product launch, or everything around that insight. So getting that insight is very important. And if you could ever experience working with people closely, working with consumers who are going to consume your product closely, then I think that is the learning that you should always go for.
Right. And I can totally understand this thing. Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, while working at such distinguished roles and, with multiple companies as well at differentiated roles, so you must have faced challenges that would have actually shaped your perspective about products or about marketing. Right.
Yeah.
So how did you actually navigate through challenges, and how did it create a difference to you in the longer run? Right.
Sure. So I think if I talk about different companies that I work with, I'll maybe answer this question in two parts, talking about the company perspective first. So I have worked with different companies, some multimedia companies, some startups. Okay, so what I've realized is that when you have a very big company, say Nestle, or say like maybe a market leader in any way, your marketing strategy is very different. Okay, or you're not more focused on competing because you're already at the top. Okay, you're not focused on what your competitor is doing, what should we do, like those aspects of it. But you're focusing on differentiation, and that is your key to win, because differentiation or innovation is something that is adding up to your portfolio now. So I believe that companies who are already up there, the marketing is different. You need to do more brainstorming. You need to think more out of the box. You need to come up with ideas that have not been done yet, that are going to increase the brand value more, but not really focus on numbers. Okay. But if you talk about startups and small companies, mid-market companies, SMBs, all these companies, their whole focus is on sale, okay, getting more revenue. So for revenue, the marketing is totally different. Then you need to have the whole GTM ready in terms of what is the pain point of the customer and what are we solving as as a company, and how is that impacting the life of the consumer. So the whole communication messaging comes through that way. So that is a learning in terms of company side, if I say. That is a challenge I feel to the company side. But if I talk about in terms of challenges maybe in a project or in such thing, is that when I was like I told you, I was involved in the creative side of marketing more, but there was a very big shift that happened, that people started focusing on digital marketing a lot. At that time, they started focusing on performance marketing a lot, in terms of using good keywords, SEO, search, and campaigns, in terms of email campaigns, SMS campaigns, a lot of these things. Okay. And then the lead conversion funnel that happens. So a lot of different aspects, a lot of the different strategies started coming along. And for a marketer, I think it's the most important thing is to be adaptable, be dynamic, and keep on learning, because marketing is such a field that, you're not, okay, you might be valued for your opinions if you're like a 40-year-old, 50-year-old. But if you are someone who's like, from Gen Z or Gen Alpha generation, who's like a 20-year-old person, they would actually know much more than you, in terms of how to get viral on social media, or how to increase your sales, or make a good brand image of your product in the market. So the whole, the whole purpose is to keep learning, be adaptable according to the trends in the market, what is happening, be very informed about the business world, what is happening in the market, what are other companies doing. Competitive analysis is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And being tech savvy is also really important. AI is coming along. So, half of these creative, the whole writing jobs are taken away by AI. ChatGPT is there, generative AI is there. And that's all.
Yeah, understood. And you mentioned very important points in the specific answer that you delivered just now, right? And you described the answer from two perspectives specifically, right? From the company's perspective and from the perspective that actually makes sense to us, right? Our age group, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it is actually described, how to actually tackle the challenges that you have faced in the long ago, and how to derive the learning out of it.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately, that is the thing that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That's a fair enough takeaway, honestly, right? So now moving on to the things specifically about the relationships that you build while working with the clients, right? So as you mentioned in the previous answer that you have worked with clients, right? And while working with major clients such as Microsoft or Bunge India, right? So you build a strong relationship with these clients, right? And there is a specific way to do it, right? Because it is not that easy to retain a client to you, right? Because once you deliver it, it should come back, right? And that relationship building is something that the student can also apply in their lives right now, right? While they're trying to outreach to people, or they're trying to get referrals, or they're trying to talk sense to someone for building a initial relationship to starting conversation, right? So what is your take on this thing specifically? How did you build your relationship, and what can students do?
Yeah. So I think it's a very good question actually. This would really help students out there. So I think what really helps is being authentic. Okay. Be you. And when you talk to clients, so these were not my direct clients, but I was the whole POC. I was the spoke for them. So whatever communication they had to do was through me. All right. So, like having a conversation with people actually goes a long way. Talking about why are you here, and what you want to do for their brand, and how do you want them to help you to build that, what you require from them. This communication should be very clear and very crisp and structured. so that there are no gaps in between. Okay, like if you talk to someone, you should be clear about your objectives, your requirements, and what is the impact that you want to build in their, in their future going ahead. Apart from that, this is about the work ethic that I'm talking about. Apart from that, if you wanna, just like maintain contacts with people, I think being respectful is the most important thing, because these are not just random people. They are brand managers who've been working on this brand for like 20-30 years. Okay?
Right.
And I am just like a newbie who've just joined. So I think being respectful, having that like a boundary when you talk, and like an etiquette of speaking, of following back, following up, and all these things should be taken very seriously. Apart from that, I think being authentic is something that goes a long way, and connecting with them on different social media platforms like LinkedIn. Like, if you are into it, then maybe, if you have that kind of bond, then maybe Instagram or Twitter or any other platform can be a platform that you can talk to. Sometimes go for lunches, go meet them in person. That also has a great impact when going ahead. But this I would also like to mention that a lot of sales, a lot of marketing, a lot of deal cracking these days happens only because of relationships. Okay, so relationships is the most important thing. And right now, since I am working in the B2B space is the most renowned and famous for relationship marketing, because that is all that works here. So I have actually been learning a lot lately about, how people keep in touch and how they circle back to them. So yes, it's a never-ending journey of learning, but you should start with these basics first.
Definitely. And there was some point in your life as well when you were also doing the same thing as a student. You were trying to reach out to people, right? So at that time also you must have tried and tested multiple ways of reaching out. Because experimentation is the only deriving factor that will actually let you know that what is right or what is wrong. Right?
Definitely.
And this is something that students should currently work upon, right? So any guide specifically related to this, that how can students reach out to people in the right way?
Sure. So one thing is, according to what I feel, is if when you're doing, for example, on LinkedIn only, when I'm reaching out to someone for just like a personal question, or just like a random question about maybe their career, maybe what I want to do or something like that, don't I feel like some people feel that there's a different strategy out there, but according to me, I would be more inclined to answering someone or accepting someone's request if they are very direct.
Right.
Okay, be direct, and in the first message only they are very clear about what they want to know, and also the whole objective behind it, that okay, I am this and that, I am studying here, and I really want to know about this part of your whatever, my profile, and how did you build it, and because this would help me in doing that. So if I get something like this, I would be interested in reading it. If I get something, a question like, hey, how did you do this, I won't be answering that. Okay, and nobody would, because nobody has the time to do that. But if someone puts in time and effort to message, draft a good message that is clear about what you want, then I would also put my time and effort. So it's a give and take.
Yeah.
Now talking about like a specific referral or something like that, maybe like give a recommendation or a referral or something. What people usually do is just ask me. Okay, that is also fine. Ask me if there are any vacancies out there, if there is any requirements out there. That is fine. But I could or anybody could, and people have actually messaged me this as well when I have messaged them in terms of please refer me for this and all that. This I've learned, through trial and error. I've done this in my life. People message that if you have seen a requirement on any website, on any their own portal or anywhere, just take the job ID, just take the referral, whatever that link is, and send it to the person that you want them to be referred by. So that actually makes the life of that person easier, and it would also increase your chances to get referred. So that is what I tell people also. Just send me, everything that you need me to enter. I'll enter it. I'll refer you. But I will not do the job searching part for you, because I am getting like 100 messages every day. So just make your life also easy, my life also easy. Do that.
Definitely.
So, yeah, and I started doing that then. I started, messaging people with the job ID, with the job role name, everything, my resume, my qualification, and then, it went ahead. So I think that helped.
Understood. And that's a fair enough takeaway, because that is the right way of doing it, right? Not creating trouble for anyone else, and making the things easier for you as well, because that's just increase the number of replies that you can get for the outreach that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have also done multiple internships, as you mentioned earlier, right, in the previous answers.
Yeah.
So I would just like to, I would just want to know that what is the right mindset for a student who is going for an internship, right? Because ऐसा होता है कि there is a misconception in this thing as well. बच्चे internship करने जाते हैं, they are just working there, right? The thing is कि internships are meant for much more things to be done, right? Internships are not just to do the work that the company is giving you, right? They'll be paying you, that's fine. But the thing is that what should be the things that the student should focus on extracting out of the companies that they're going for the internships at?
Okay. So I think, yes, a good point. Definitely. I think one thing should be at the top of your priority list should be learning. Okay. You should be able to make the most of your learning in terms of not just your specific role, but also understand what other people are doing, right? If you just got hired for maybe say a social media role, social media marketing role, but you should also see what the SEO team is doing, what the media team is doing, what the procurement team is doing. You should understand the functions, because not because you wanna work there or because of that motive, but just to have an understanding of the whole process that happens when you hire someone, or when you hire an agency. What is the process of whole purchasing, then requirement handling and everything. And apart from that, I think other thing would be talking to people, networking. That is also one important thing. You should be able to build relations, talk to leaders in the company, talk to people who you think would be very supportive in your future ahead. All right, so make connection with them. I'm not just saying talk to them in person, but you can just like share some thoughts with them on maybe LinkedIn, and give your introduction that, okay, hi, I've just joined this company and I'm working as this. It would be great if we could just meet once, and I would love to know about your thoughts on something. So just any which way, just to build like a connection, a network. And apart from that, I think make good friends as well. I think your peers also play a very important role. You never know after 3-4 years which company you might bump into someone, and maybe they could be working somewhere else and they could refer you or give you some kind of a good project. So making good friends and enjoying your time as well is the very important point that you should do, apart from obviously grasping as much knowledge and information and doing networking. Yeah,
definitely. That's a fair enough takeaway as well, right? And the next step is transitioning from internships to corporate, right? To some job profile, right? So that field is also quite diverse in terms of the mental pressure that you're bearing, or the outreach that you're doing, right? In terms of talking to the people or finding the right opportunity for you, right?
Yeah.
So how to do that relevant search for yourself, right? How to analyze that, okay, marketing is something that is meant for me, right? How to know that, okay, analytics is something that I should be doing, right? So how did you do that research for yourself, and how do you recommend the people to self-analyze themselves?
Okay. So I think this is a very, self kind of a thing that you can do to yourself. Okay. Because when you know, it's kind of that, marketing is like that. I think you will also agree to that, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Marketing
So,
comes from within, actually.
yeah, exactly.
You are meant for marketing, right? Because basic minor things actually, increase the interest within you. That's how it happens for me, actually.
Yeah.
When I begin with, reading something, then marketing just controls my mind, honestly. Even a minor detail makes me feel like, okay, yaar, ye to bahut crazy cheez hai, maine kya dekh liya abhi, right? It's like that. So
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Exactly that when you're, that into something, you're really passionate about it, you see through it, then I think you won't, second guess that you want to get into marketing and all. But then again, there are different aspects of marketing, right? If someone is very good at numbers, you like to like when I started my job after my undergrad, I started becoming not just interested, but it's also really important. Numbers are really important.
Right.
Marketing, right? If you wanna, at the end, you wanna do a sale in most cases, and for you to do a sale, you need a lead. You need lead conversion. You need generation. And for that lead to come to your page, to see your website, to visit your website, you need good content. It's like a whole funnel. It's like a whole process. So numbers is something that validate that, okay, this strategy is working. This is not working. So understanding numbers, being good at it is very important. I have actually, I have a channel on Instagram where I talk about MBA and marketing and everything. And at that platform also, I've mentioned the 3 key skills that are important, for marketing right now. It is technical qualifications or technical, accuracy. Second would be research. And third would be your creative ability. So in terms of technical abilities, the number part, the analytics part, everything also comes in play, right? So, I forgot your question though.
Actually, it is good. We can just continue the conversation like this itself. Actually, empathy is something that is also very integral component of understanding marketing. Because when you talk about marketing, you're actually analyzing the problems that people are facing, right? And how can you actually solve it up, right? So empathy and creativity, right? These things play a very important role along with all the factors that are governing the whole landscape of marketing, right?
Definitely.
And when we talk about the history, that how it actually started, right? So marketing is not that old. It just started 100 years back, right? Like there were no 100 years, right? And there are a lot of cases when we, just start analyzing that how it actually began. So, डिमांड सप्लाई वगैरह B2C सेल्स कस्टमर्स कुछ नहीं था, राइट? इट वाज जस्ट बार्टर, राइट? फिर बार्टर से यू हैड करेंसी, राइट? करेंसी बनी, देन करेंसी से यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड दैट ट्रेड कि ठीक है, बोली लगेगी एंड हूएवर इज इंटरेस्टेड खरीद लो जो ज्यादा बिड करेगा, राइट? फिर जब मास प्रोडक्शन इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन स्टार्ट हुआ, राइट? सो उसके बाद में लाइक पीपल वर जस्ट सेलिंग व्हाट दे वर प्रोड्यूसिंग, राइट? मतलब there is a lot to talk about when we talk about marketing.
It's a great history, definitely,
and it's a very interesting story to talk about the origin of marketing, right? And what is marketing? And then this thing in itself is a very diverse topic that can take hours and hours of discussion to
totally.
Yeah. Alright, so you have experience both in B2C and B2B, right? When you talk about marketing. So what major trends have you foreseen in the industry that you can actually forecast for the upcoming 5 years? Because this will be a guide for the students. If I'm a BBA student that I've taken admission in the first year right now, right, in this year itself. So the industry I should be relevant for the industry in the next 5 years, right? So how to prepare for that particular circumstance?
So I think one most important, the elephant in the room is AI, definitely. So I think especially generative AI, I think people will have sometimes a lot of people mistook it for being like a job snatcher or, taking up jobs and all. But I think it's a very good tool for, especially marketers to save time, to help them
Right.
build things that were beyond their imagination. Like I remember the times when I started, my journey in marketing. It was, I think, when I just actually graduated school after my 12th standard. In my first year of BBA, I started working on different projects, and I started with event, and then I went into copywriting, graphic designing, and all that. But I still remember how it used to take me like an hour to write one caption or two captions for different. I was working for agencies for different brands. How much it of an effort, of a mind that it used to take me. So I think a lot of it is now saved because of ChatGPT, because of different platforms like of generative AI, so that you can focus on things that really matter in terms of being creative. Okay, and you can do the normal, the mundane day-to-day tasks could be done by generative AI. But also, it can give you a lot of ideas that you could not think, because we as people think of, firstly, our thoughts are based on our experiences, past experiences. Second, it is based on what we see, what we hear from people around us. But if a computer or a generative AI robot has a memory of years, and they have a lot of information overload that is there, so they can give you like a holistic view on things. So that is something that you should leverage on as a marketer. So AI is something that you should be good at in terms of visual, also content, also video. There are so many, people used to take a lot of time making one single video. Video is a very good visualization tool that that is very helpful in terms of making complex things being understandable for people.
Right.
So using video, visual, and making it in second is something that is very, astonishing to everybody who's working in marketing, I feel. So that is something that you can leverage on in future. And also in terms of SEO, what is working, what are the keywords that are working, what are the keywords that you should use. That is also something that you can take help from. But I would also, give a disclaimer out there that you should know that everybody has access to it, right? So if you don't use your mind, your creativity, and what you want the output to be, you will be same, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody is using generative AI.
I'll just add another point to this thing. It is that everyone is definitely using AI, right, to get the work done, but they are just doing it at a very basic level.
Yeah.
Very, very, very basic level, right? AI has a lot of potential if you know how to actually utilize it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You can actually, sum up the whole week's work in just 1 hour. Like the complete week's work in just 1 hour, right? And that thing can be done only if you know how to actually talk to it, right?
Yeah.
So prompting also have frameworks, right? You need to understand how a prompt works, right?
Yeah.
What is the way basic way to just talk to AI, right? How to get a specific task done, how to make the ChatGPT specialize in a certain task, right?
Yeah.
In which you need help from, right? So you can actually get way ahead of the people who are using AI already just by just putting in a little bit of research to know how to utilize AI, right?
Exactly.
That can actually help you scale up to I believe 100x level in comparison to these people, right? Because your productivity will increase so much.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's a fair enough takeaway that you mentioned. Multiple points that you mentioned, every single thing made sense. And this one for watching this podcast abhi tak, I believe that you are actually noting these points down, right? Whatever ma'am is delivering, because this thing is coming out of her experience, right? And it's not just about watching the podcast, it is about doing your research after watching the podcast, right? So just note down these points and search it. जो भी डेटा लगता है कि हाँ you need to have exposure about it, जानना चाहिए, उसको जानो, ढूंढो उसके बारे में, right? So that's how you just continue with something that you feel interested in, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think the one thing you should research after this podcast is learn about all the different tools that are available. पहले तो you should know कि AI कर क्या सकता है,
Right.
and then you should get into it कि okay कैसे करना है.
हाँ.
But you should have like a holistic view about it. And another thing that I think you should be very well equipped with is definitely the tech skills. Okay, technical skills in terms of reading numbers, being good at numbers. The number game is really important. So I think do some research in terms of analytics and making sense out of the creativity that you're putting on. But what is the numeric value of it? So you should be able to translate those into numbers. And also be good at, I think, research. Research is very important. Yes, a lot of it would be done by AI after some time. So again, circling back to AI. But then you should obviously know about what you really want. The objectives should be clear in your mind, whatever you try to do. And yeah, I think that's more or less it.
Yeah, actually, still there are a lot of resources that the students would actually find if they just do little bit of searching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
ऐसे कि आपको अगर AI को भी यूज करना नहीं भी आता है, right? So just go on LinkedIn. मतलब ये भी नहीं बोलूँगा कि आप YouTube पे जाओ. Just go on LinkedIn and just start finding the prompts. That's how you can get a certain task done with the help of prompts. People have posted workbooks. There are multiple booklets that people have created who are posting content related to AI to get multiple tasks done, right? And that thing is very useful. Just go through. There are a lot of resources available, right? There is no restriction to learn in today's day, right? If you are not utilizing it, then you are lagging behind, right? And that is totally your fault, because even after having internet, you are not using it properly. So
exactly, and everything is on internet these days.
Yeah,
you can find like because people ask me a lot about cat prep and MCA prep and everything, and like I tell them, the resources are there in front of you. It's just that you need to take out time. You need to just sit, be disciplined about it, and just study.
Yeah.
Just give time for studying. Don't just don't be on Instagram or YouTube searching itni percentile mein kahan college milega. All this is just all this bullshit. Just study, give your 100% and then do all that research.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just right in front of you, all the resources that you need. But you just have to, take out time and give it some time.
Yeah. Definitely. And the major problem is not specifically confined to getting distractions, from the distractions that you're getting distracted that are around you. The main problem is that the students are lying to themselves because they're not able to do the self-analysis. Right? Because why lying to yourself when why fooling yourself? Like that's the thing, right?
Definitely.
Do the self-analysis in the right way, right? Whatever percentile you'll be gaining, you're already aware about it somehow. Because you know what potential you're carrying, right?
Yeah.
And your performance you're already aware about, because you're giving the mocks and everything, what colleges will you get, and like these kind of questions are already clear in your mind.
True.
So you have already seen the industry transitioning now, right? And the experience that you have collected, and you have spent so many years in the industry, right? So you have seen the whole landscape changing, right? So earlier when you started, marketing was more of traditional, right? In your undergrad times, right?
Yeah.
It's more focused on the traditional kind of marketing setup, right? But today, like when we talk about this year, it's 2024. So marketing is more inclined towards the modern marketing, right? Modern marketing that is more analytical based, and it is more number based, and that is more focused on to getting the content telling your story. It is not now it is not storytelling, it is now story selling kind of a thing, right? So the whole landscape is changing in those terms. So how do you see in the upcoming decade will traditional marketing change? Because that is what is being taught to the students in the universities and the colleges right now. Traditional marketing. They're not talking about the modern marketing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So firstly, I think it would never be story selling, that I'm sure of. It will always be storytelling. But the storytelling will differentiate. Okay, the storytelling in traditional marketing is different than storytelling here. Okay, I see like the major difference from traditional to modern marketing in terms of, if I say like a product perspective, it's first you were focused more on selling, and now you're focusing more on telling people about the product in terms of its features, its qualities, how it can impact you, like, in an indirect way, right? It's not direct selling now, it's indirect selling. What is selling these days is authenticity, being organic, being real, and being raw. Okay, so that is what sells on social media as well, on real terms as well. Word of mouth in terms of publicity works the best, right? So, and these things are actually similar to what traditional marketing was also doing. What is different is how people are consuming content these days. Okay, people at that time used to maybe not use their phones, their laptops that much. They used to read more newspaper, take more print kind of content in. There was a long form content that used to make waves that time. But now people have a span of like 5-6 seconds or something, right? So they need impactful. They need buzz right now. Like they need a lot of impactful messaging that can actually transform their life. They are very influenced these days. People are influenced by creators, by people using content in terms of the UGC content. The user-generated content is happening a lot these days. So I think we are moving a lot from like a very idealistic marketing point of view to very on-ground realistic marketing point of view. Okay, right. Now if I see someone looking like me, have a background like me, using a product, I would go and buy that product. Compared to like an actress using a product, because because now people are very aware about that actor is not using that product, right? It's just for an ad. They're just getting paid for it. Right. So people are very aware these days. So our messaging, our communication, our marketing needs to be that way as well. We have to be very honest and authentic and clear about our qualities and why we are different from someone else in the same market. So I think, and in terms of my learnings and that I would say that yes, I think numbers actually play a really important role these days. I have actually analyzed campaigns more before my MBA, and I've realized that because when I was just doing campaigns, when I was just writing a copy for someone, I didn't know that this would work or not. I was just writing it through my expertise that I like it, I like this content, I like to read it, maybe someone else would also like to read it. But when you get into numbers, you realize that this word performed well, this thing is working in this geography, this is making waves in this target audience, like 30 to 35 plus, and you can also say that male or female, some certain gender is preferring this more. So there are a lot of insights that you're getting these days, and you can tweak your every communication, your even your products according to these insights that you're getting these days. So yeah.
Understood. One thing I just I was just trying to analyze the podcast in the starting while listening to your answer, right? And I just summarized it and found a few points to talk about, right, Abhi? So the thing is that whenever we are talking about any of the certain topics in marketing, so the discussion is about analytics, the discussion is about advertisement, the discussion is about content, right? Yeah. Discussion is about what do you say, selling, right? Yeah. So when we talk about marketing as whole, the first question that I asked you, what is marketing, right? Yeah. Is it again summarizing to the same thing that these are the strategies that...
definitely.
These strategies...
I think we've after the whole, podcast, you actually come up to the definition that you started with. It's like a full circle.
Definitely. And that thing just, just clicked me again. That, okay, it is the strategy that we are implementing to, create that value in the market. Create that value for the people who are the potential customers or the consumers. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how it is happening. Like this whole thing is so, I don't know how many people will be relating to these things, because, people who are actually interested in marketing definitely will be understanding the emotion, right? Definitely. But the thing is that the people who don't have that particular kind of a brain cell that marketing enthusiasts share, right? So definitely it won't make sense. But the thing is that this thing is actually interesting to, understand that how is the whole process happening, right? It is a system that has been created, right?
Yeah.
The system that is not confined, but right.
True.
The system, but it is not confined. It is open, right?
Yeah.
There you can implement any single thing that can make sense, right?
Definitely.
To create some value.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your answers are absolutely amazing, actually, right? So one thing more, right? One thing that I also faced earlier, one problem that I faced earlier when I was choosing this specialization, right, to opt for, right? It was clear in my mind that, okay, marketing is the only thing that I want to do, right? But that is not the case for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone is quite aware कि ठीक है मेरे को करना क्या है, right? How to choose this specialization early on, right? Because you need to decide. Before beginning with the course only, you need to decide that, okay, this is what you pursue. Accordingly, you will prepare yourself to be relevant to the industry, right? How to choose the specialization early on, right? 2 or 3 years before the time frame when you are actually supposed to choose it, right? And what is important, why is it important to specialize earlier, right, in your career versus gaining a broad set of skills, right? The specialization is important, or gaining the right set of broad skills is important. Because when you specialize, you'll be confined to a very small set of things, right? But if you're actually learning, then you'll be you won't be confined. You'll be open to a very broad set of skills, right? So how do you compare both the things?
So definitely. I think, talking about my case, I think I was very clear early on that I want to do marketing in my life. Come what may. Now, marketing में क्या करना है वो I was like, okay, I'll explore and see. किसमें मेरा interest है, किसमें I am good at, किसमें I am my output is good and everything, and the growth is good in terms of the career, money, roles and everything. Okay, but the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about it is that if you're clear about it, like I did my undergrad also. I specialized in marketing. I specialized in marketing in my masters also, right? And through that whole time I have worked in the same field. But if you're someone, and this I actually use this strategy in my masters as well, but if you're someone who's like, very not really sure you like marketing, but you're not sure किस field में जाना है, कैसे करना है and all, then I think for at least for your bachelor's, you should explore different aspects of it, like how a marketing performs as a function holistically with other functions, like with finance, with HR, with say operations and analytics and everything, right? So that is something that you should learn, and not just specializing in marketing would help, because marketing, like I told you, it's not a standalone career or a standalone activity. You wouldn't go very far if you just know a lot about marketing, because तुमको like in terms of job also तुमको बहुत सारी चीजें करनी पड़ेंगी along with other departments, right? So you should be knowing what they work, how they work, and what is your scope of work and what is their scope of work. So learning about that is really important. And also you might never know that तुमको because marketing is something that people see is very glamorous, right? People, people think that sales is like groundwork and marketing is like glamorous. I want to go to marketing and heavy. Okay, I wouldn't deny. Okay, it is good. It is fun, but it is also a lot of work. Okay, and if you are not passionate about it, if you don't like it, you won't be able to do it or survive, because for like you have to work the whole day. It's not just like a 5 to or whatever. Sorry, if I'm saying 9 to 5. It's not like that. Okay, it's not like not like a consulting, but like a normal 9 to 5 IT software job. Okay, जिसमें you log in and you do your work, then you log out. You don't log out in marketing, because you keep on seeing how this thing is performing. If you've done something, some launch, then how do you make that launch happen? That launch will not happen only in 9 to 5. It can happen at night also. So that there's no timing, there's no boundary, and all these things. So it might not work for a lot of people, but if you are passionate about it, if you're into it, then it is definitely the place to be for you. But yes, I think this is something that you realize slowly. But I think I would suggest you to not go for a specialization until you're really clear about it. And even in MBA, so for me, for IIM specifically, we don't have like a specialization,
Right.
but we can take our elective, right, now second year. So in my electives also, I made a good mix of strategy, operations, and marketing. So that even if you don't know if you'll get placed in a marketing role only, okay, you can start with something else as well, and then thereby go to marketing. So just be open to things, but if you are 100% clear and passionate about it, then you should definitely go for just that. But this is the learning that I have got, that I should have been more into different functions during my undergrad only. But at that time, I was like, I don't know if I would be, doing the master's. So that was my only, studying thing. So I was like, after this, I'll just work in marketing. So if that's the case with you, then yes, maybe you can think of doing the specialization after, in your BBA only, but after learning about different aspects also. So yeah.
Understood. And that's a fair enough overview about the whole topic, right? And
Yeah.
definitely the students who are watching this video would have gained benefit from the answer itself, right?